Welcome to the next video on software engineering. In this video, we are going to talk about the software requirements document, that is SRS. We call it software requirement specification as well. So let us start. Also known as software requirement specification or SRS, official statement of what the system developer should implement. So SRS is an official statement what exactly is going to be implemented by the system developers. It may include both the user requirements for a system and a detailed specification of the system requirements. So user requirements as well as the detailed specification of system requirements. These two portions are going to be covered in this SRS. Requirement documents are essential, that is SRS becomes essential when systems are outsourced for development, different teams develop different parts of the system, and when a detailed analysis of the requirements is mandatory. Who are the users? System customers. So specify requirements and read them to check that they meet their needs. Customer specify changes to the requirements. So one of the important users of SRS is system customers. Next is managers. They use the requirement document to plan a bid for the system and to plan the system development process. Okay. Next is, so system engineers use the requirements to understand what system is to be developed. Next is system test engineers. They use the SRS or the requirements to develop validation test for the system. So validation is one of the important aspect, if we have met the requirements or not. So these engineers use the requirement specification for that. System maintenance engineers, so they use the requirements to understand the system and the relationship between its different parts. Okay. Now what are the different chapters of the requirements document, that is SRS? Okay, so let us go through. First chapter is preface, introduction, glossary, user requirements definition, system architecture, system requirement specification, system models, system evolution, appendices, index. So these are the basic chapters of a SRS, and SRS may include all of these or may not include all of this chapter depending upon a particular situation. Okay, let us go through one by one. Preface. These define the expected readership of the document and describe its version history, including a rationale for the creation of a new version and a summary of the changes made in each version. So this is the first chapter. Introduction. What are the system functions and how it will work with other system are going to be covered under this heading. Okay, so it should also describe how the system fits into the overall business or strategic objective of the organization commissioning the software. So basically introduction to the system functions and the other systems. Okay, glossary. The technical terms are defined here. Okay, so next chapter talks about user requirements definition. Here the services provided for the users are described. The non-functional system requirements should also be described in this section. This description may use natural language, diagrams or other notation that are understandable to the customers. So basically understandability of this document by the customer is a necessary requirement. So all the requirements must be specified as close to the understandability of the customer so that they can use this document for validation of their requirement. Product and process standard that must be followed should also be specified here. Next is system architecture. This chapter talks about a high level overview of the anticipated system architecture, showing the distribution of function across system modules. Architectural components that are used should also be highlighted. So system architecture talks about the architecture of software to be developed. Okay. Next, system requirements specification. These describe the functional and non-functional requirements in more detail. If necessary, further detail may also be added for the non-functional requirements. Interfaces to other systems may also be defined under this heading. System requirements specification. Next chapter is index. In this chapter, several indexes to the document may be included, as well as a normal alphabetic index. There may be an index of diagrams, an index of functions, and so on. So this is one of the important chapter. References. Thank you for watching this video.